A very beautiful afternoon to you, wherever you are. Welcome to Anambra State. Here we are doing the program, The Assembly. I am Lord Lezef from the highest echelon of the British Empire, and today we are going to discuss the reforming of FSARS. Of course, it's no longer news that the country doesn't seem to be at peace, especially when the protests are going on about the whole arrests and robbery and vicissitudes being perpetrated by the so-called FSARS men. Of course, I'll call them so-called because sometimes they tend to go beyond their official duties and just tend to behave like the armed robbers we are used to talking about the Nigerians. So today we're talking on FSARS and its reformation. Of course, a release has been made and many other people are still protesting, saying that this whole thing may not actually come to reality because there was once a time a reformation was made for the FSARS, which was then SARS, and reformed to FSARS, and still the same thing keeps happening. But I'm not the one to discuss this because we have people that should know much more about this in the studio right here. I'm talking about a prof in our midst and also a Mallam Goro representing the Northern constituency. Hey, good afternoon to you both. And particularly, I'm happy that you're here, Prof, because I really want someone that is really educated and knows about the whole background of this whole SARS thing. I would really love someone like that, who you are, to at least tell us how this whole thing has been. If you watch the country, people are all over the place protesting from one state to another. Yesterday was a hit of it, and even right now it seems to be getting worse because even in Delta State, I heard that a policeman has been killed there just because of these whole protests. First of all, welcome to the assembly. Nice having you.
Thank you.
Yeah, how do you feel today?
I'm happy. I'm enthusiastic as usual. With all the alacrities that have combined into a compendious oblivion.
Okay.
I would say.
Is that why you put on some white? Any reasons for choosing this color white for today? Or just a mere coincidence?
Just a mere cloth. There's no particular reason.
Okay, that's okay. Hey, Goro, you look good, but with a particular, I don't know, when you walked in I was a bit scared, but because I know you're a good man, though holding a machete, I really don't understand the recent machete that has a red color. Is it because of, are you coming from the protest directly or what? Okay, I know Fridays are meant to be for your Muslim.
You don't have to be afraid. Because I know the SARS, who SARS.
Okay.
I am just a normal citizen. This is what we do kill inside the bush. Use it to clear grass. If you see all these animals, you kill them.
You kill animals?
In the bush.
Why would you kill animals in the bush? Innocent animals.
Okay, what is innocent? It is called nama, meat. We eat to survive.
Okay, like you butcher the meat, like cows, right?
Okay, not cows, the bush animals. Come on, abonga grass quarters.
You go hunting.
You know, if during the kiwo, sometimes our cows they match for all these animals. Okay. Once we see them, we yanke. You know, as a Muslim, you have to eat what blood come out. Not when he died.
So you came prepared for meal. But it's a bit different that this is the first time you're coming to assembly with a machete. Is that what it's called?
Adda, it is called Adda in my dialect.
Okay.
Okay.
Machete.
Machete. Adda, it is for you. I just come out from bush.
And you have to come here straight.
I don't want to waste time for time.
Oh, okay, that's okay. That's better understood. All right, so let's get to meet you guys once again. Your introduction, Prof. Let's start with you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Professor ZEKWES. Like I always say, a man that's put his nose on the grindstone for donkey years, for a period of a month of Sundays, if you like. And I always call myself an academic amateur, and I don't engage in politics of, or should I say, campaign of ballyhoos and gallyhoos. That's all I can say for now.
All right, Prof ZEKWES, once again, welcome to the assembly.
Thank you.
Hey, girl.
To Jama'a barka da sabuwa da ku yau. It is your boy, Mallam Goro. Asalin ni dan Katsina ne. Kuna ji na? Kuma babana malam ne, kuma ni dan malam ne. Ni dan Katsina, dan kankara local government. Ko da mi ka zo mun fika. Barka da sabuwa da ku yau. Yeah.
All right, that's okay. All right. So welcome once again, I'm Goro to the assembly. All right. So the usuals, we just study national anthem and then bounce back to discuss the main topic, talking about the reformation of FSARS. All right.
Also, compatriots, Nigeria's call obey to serve our father's land with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and might, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
On the program, the assembly, and today we are discussing something very pertinent because over the past weeks, a couple of weeks, it has been the thing that has been ravaging the Nigerian society, because many persons right here in Nigeria are no longer comfortable with the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, which was then transformed to the Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad. And right now they are not seeming comfortable with them because the whole thing, they don't seem to be going in accordance with their line of duty. Of course, yesterday there was a major protest in Lagos where the celebrities in Nigeria had to go on the streets and protest. And of course today it still continues in Nigeria because people ain't yet satisfied with whatever the police or the Nigerian government are saying as regards that. Today, let's talk about this, all right, because this is something we have to talk about. Because if we don't talk about it, they will keep on going out there oppressing innocent Nigerians. Of course, we all know that the Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad, alongside other squads under the police, they are actually doing some good work in Nigeria. They're trying to check the excesses, or of course, policing the society. But sometimes, because I don't know if it's out of illiteracy, they tend to go beyond their jurisdiction and then impose powers upon themselves. I don't know. Okay, I think, let me start with you, Goro. I don't know what you want to say about this. It's just crazy because I've seen videos, I've seen pictures of this whole thing, and it keeps happening.
But to the kagan abungan de ya faru ko ba yau ba ya fara faruwa ba. It has been happening.
Okay.
Kaganeko, this is not a new, it's not even a new story to us.
Yeah.
We have been hearing this same story for a very years. Kaji?
Okay.
Remember,
donkey years?
Kai, and they deal with our professor Dole and Jiturenchi Kaganeko. Remember, in this what you call them anti-robbery squad.
Yeah.
It was formed in the year 1992.
Oh, okay.
By the former Commissioner Police, Simeon Danladi, Sunan Shikenan. That is the name of the former commissioner that formed this SARS. Kajiko, when they formed this SARS, even the main reason why of forming this SARS is that Kanajina, for checkpoints, police people shoot them for one colonel, army man. Okay. The name of this is the name of the colonel is Colonel Ringdown. Is the name of the colonel. As the police people can't kill him for that man, the information porridge for barrack say police kill him for a whole army colonel. Okay. Then all the army people can't dispatch, can't enter for straight. If they see him for police person, then kill him. Once they see him for any police people, once he wear him for army for police clothes, he dey for checkpoint, the army people then kill him. So the killing can't too much. In fact, it happened for Lagos. If you Google and you go see them, it happened for Lagos. Then the killing can't too much. It go to an extent. The police, some of the police people resign. Some few, some good. So the criminals consider this as opportunity. Say so far, say police people, they for checkpoint. All the police are in the run. The crime gone too much. Okay. As the crime is gone too much, then this commissioner now form anti-robbery squad. And once they form this squad, there are only 15 in numbers. In fact, they are working under the shadow. Even the army people, they don't even know that these people are operating. They start operating, fighting crimes. When the police people are in the run, it happened for 2 good weeks for Lagos. So during this period, in fact, the main reason why of SARS, the main reason why of forming SARS was to fight armed robbery, kidnapping, Kagani. That is their main reason. Then along the line, when they start operating, before the police people and the army, they have to come in conclusion, can resolve the matter.
I think I'm getting you right.
As they can resolve all the problem, then the SARS people, after they don't face criminal and kidnapping, they now enter inside school. That time, I was in the arena for that time now, courtism.
Okay.
All this courtisan, then Abonga, what you call them for what you call them?
Yeah, fraudsters.
Fraudsters.
Internet
Okay,
fraudsters.
but the problem now is that as these people now enter school now, they could start to intimidate the innocent youth. Kaganeko, because of the power invested in them as a salesman, even you they innocent, although as they enter school, there are some courtesans that they catch, which are truly useful, they are courtesans. But during the operation, they can even see you as a youth. You know, you are not there for courtesan, you know they don't want for anything courtesan. They will intimidate you, Kaganeko, force you, give you allegation, you must bail them for yourself. That is why we the youth now, we are crying. Because they are overstepping their boundary. Do what they call them for abuse, human abuse, what they call them? Abuse.
Human rights abuse.
Human rights abuse.
Okay.
That is what we are passing. So the shooting, wallahi, nobody today is start far. It has stayed.
So it has been a long time. FSARS, or let me say the police, have been killing innocent Nigerians, and Nigerians have just been quiet up until now.
No, we are not even quiet. We are talking, but we want the federal government to take action this time around.
Okay, all right. All right. Hey, Prof. Good enough you are here. So you represent the elite of the nation, okay? Because good enough you may not be seeing things the way the masses, or let me say the ordinary people or the commoners of the society would see things. So I guess you have a privileged opinion as regards this. I'm sure you have a privileged knowledge and information from these whole police and the SARS operatives. So let's get to know your view about this whole thing.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me say fortissimo that the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, in their Olympian aloofness, their alacrity, their autonomy, their guts, and their effronteries have been overstepping their boundaries. Now, the citizens had this verbophobia. They had a paranoid for SARS. They were scared at the beginning. I remember 2008, 2009, what SARS was. They were actually formed. They were made. Look at the name, Special Anti-Robbery Squad. Yeah. It is very painful to see your mentor becoming your tormentor, and you've got no choice but to run to your creator to avoid more attack from the predators. That is what I see. And meanwhile, let me say this, that SARS have practiced what I call infralapsarianism. When the repugnant citizens, the pugnacious citizens begin to protest, when they begin to air their views, when they begin to come out, when they begin to move, you discover that things might change. Things might change because Nigerians, as the days go by, Nigerians, as the day goes by, or as the days go by, Nigerians are becoming smarter. Nigerians are becoming more advanced. Their cerebral compendium, their cerebral assembly is being more organized. And I know that with the help of God Almighty, who is the great grand architect of the universe, the terminus acus of the world, this pestilential aberration, this societal meningoencephalitis that has labored and transmogrified the world into a state of an ogamoga, a quagmire, will come to a state of Eldorado. I believe so.
All right, and that's the prof's opinion as about the whole FSAR something. But just in case you don't know, the police have made a release as regards this whole FSAR something. But before we go and read exactly what the police has mentioned about this whole FSAR something, of course, the couple of days by, or let's say about a week ago, thereabouts, there have been protestings, like especially online. People have been hashtagging. Of course, I know a particular popular celebrity in Nigeria called Wizkid, who actually went about attacking the president or calling the president to order. I won't call that attack. He was calling the president to order that he should actually, look at what is going on in his country and leave whatever is going on in our country, talking about USA, and just focus on what is going on here. And of course, not just him, even other celebrities have been doing the same as well. There have been hashtags on end SARS, end SARS, end SARS. But the question now is, should there be a total end of SARS? Should there be a total annihilation of the body or the special body called SARS? Or should there be a reformation? I'm thinking that this whole FSARS is some sort of metaphor, this whole NSARS is some sort of metaphor to mean reform SARS. Okay, the hashtag right now trending, even currently, first trend on Twitter is NSARS protests and the rest of it. So, but I still feel that they don't actually mean you should end SARS. Rather, you should reform this SARS to a point that the reformation will be felt by we common citizens. But let's talk about the challenges, or the should I call it the stepping beyond boundaries that these FSARS people go. I got to know, a friend of mine was saying, or let me say son to a friend of mine was saying that right now in Nigeria, to own a Mercedes-Benz is not a problem, is a challenge, because they would see you as a criminal, that as a young boy in Nigeria, you don't have the right to own a Mercedes-Benz. I don't know. This is crazy. Mercedes-Benz that are used as taxis outside the country.
Well, as far as I am concerned, I've heard those things before. I see
Can
them.
you hear them?
I see them as utterly ludicrous expressions. They are stupid. They are what I would like to call directionlessness, cautiousness, and purposelessness. Now, all the ratiocinations of citizens, all the pedagogical expressions of citizens, all the historiographies coming from SARS entails that actually the citizens aren't really saying end SARS. Actually, there is this thing about the world, there is this thing about Africans, most Africans, I would like to say. Okay. When you start as a good person, when you start as a nice person, and you end up as a bad person, the legacy you're going with, your apocalyptic name, what will be the epitaph on your tombstone is going to be the bad you have done. But if you start from the bad side and you eventually become good, the epitaph on your tombstone is going to be the good you have done. So I think studying all the belligerent citizens, all the angered citizens, all the bamboozled citizens, our citizens are going into a razzmatazz, a bamboozle. And if I study all these things, I will come out to a terminus ad quem, an observation, a hypothesis, a theory that a change is needed. Change is constant anyway. I think what they are looking for is a reformation. Or in agricultural science, you would say is deforestation and reforestation, afforestation. Start from the beginning. Reform SARS, not totally end SARS anyway. I think that's what they need.
Okay, Goro, I'm sure you've had personal experience with these SARS. Could you just share one or two stories as regards it?
I have experience one-on-one.
Okay.
You get on for this, my customer, very young boy, fine young boy. You get on for Mercedes and Banzan. What you call that?
Mercedes-Benz.
Banzan. So this young boy come carry me for Gariki. He won't buy cow, cause the guy get money. He bought me at the rear and for cow for him. So he go carry me. I want go share for in cow for daji for bush. So as we when they go, the SARS people can't stop them. As they can't stop them, me I did for the other side. The SARS man come and say, that's their language. Kai Oga, how far now? The guy come and say, Oga, I did fine. I say, hi, Oga, anything for your boys? The guy come tell and say, Oga officer, I know the economy is bad for. Do Allah, if I come back next time, make I find you something. The second person we deal with the salesman come tell and say, Kai, how you told you know get them for money, you get them for this fine car. In fact, come down. I couldn't talk from my mind. I must be lying. That is, oh my God. Come tell and say, come down. The guy come down from the motor. Come tell me, Aboki, come down. Me, I come down. They come they do the guy like this. Come they search him. As they search him, they put him for the pocket. Come out him for this phone. What do they call him? Apple, iPhone. God bless me. iPhone. As they come collect the iPhone, then the first man will customer and say, open this phone. Then the guy come opens the phone. The second one come and say, check the phone. Abi VPN they inside the phone. Me, I don't know what about VPN. Then the salesman come check. Cause you get them for VPN for your phone. In fact, you are Yahoo. Say they do one for Yahoo. The guy come and say, Oga officer, what is? I don't want. In fact, you are doing me abonga harassment.
What is that BBN? Is it? You mean BVN?
No, you get what they call them. For they say now that they use them change them for your country. If you did for Nigeria, if you put them for United States.
Okay.
I know you call them V something. I've been a VPN.
VPN.
The one tell and say they can say this one they do one for Yahoo. The man tell and say guy Ogami I know they do one for anything. The other salesman come tell and say in fact if you know one we arrest them for you transfer them for 100,000 for us. When last that day I know say all these such people go then get them for account number. Even as we they talk before they stop us, they get another guy where they stop. They come carry the guy for motor. Then they go for ATM. They will follow you. Wallahi, you go there, go for ATM with no money, give them. The people who are meant to protect them for us.
I don't get it. Why do they demand money? Is it like, are you guys the ones paying them for that job or what?
Okay, that is called the corruption of the country. Everything is corrupt.
And when you demand for such money, you foolishly go and pay them. Why won't you tell him or her, I don't know if there is hers in this house, but why don't you tell the person that, hey, look at this, what are you demanding money for? This is corruption or something like that.
Okay, Oga, if you don't take time for your life will even follow. They will shoot them for you.
No, it's not possible. Like,
okay, see this, but I think say they for London. Now for Nigeria, you there,
Nigeria is always rated, has always been rated, and up till now is still being rated as a developing country.
Okay.
Nigeria is not a place where you can come. You know, they say, I look at Nigeria as a quadragenariously foolish country. Not really because we don't want to develop, not really because we don't want to change, not because we are not clamoring and agitating for a change. Look at what is happening in Nigeria. It is so terrible. You saw what happened in the United States? George Floyd. You saw the kind of peaceful protest, and it brought, when things happen, when people come out in mass, when they congregate and evolve the vial of human beings, come post mentis homo sapiens, come in mass to make a protest, the world will look into it. The United Nations will look into it. But what happens in Nigeria? If you read all the news, ipsima verba, verbatim literatim, what to word, line to line that is, you will come to a conclusion that actually there is no smoke without fire. I think, in a way, some people who are the solar plexus, some people who are at the mountain Olympus of the government of Nigeria are actually sponsoring these things. There was a saying, I wouldn't really go straight to the point, but I'll just throw it out. There was a saying that there was a deadly group in Nigeria before a government came, and when the government came into power, the deadly group went incognito incommunicado. Now, look at what's happening in a state like in a country like America. ISIS was formed, but after some time, there is something that will happen. Those people will go incognito incommunicado. So it's a matter of game. This is a game. Like people will say in the 1980s, 419 is not a crime, it's a game. So these people are playing games. If only you can understand the card, if you can understand the nitty-gritties of the game, you'll be able to understand. Now, SARS have left their work. That's like I met someone last week. The person said it's not just SARS, that even the road safety people have left their work. I was happy, I was exorbitantly enthusiastic above all ratiocinations that the adumbrations have been coming into a constant end. I saw a police officer, I don't know whether it's the IGP or what, that announced that a policeman has no constitutional right to ask you for your phone. That is illegal. And you know, human beings, this is what they want to hear, this is what they want to listen to. And immediately they heard that kind of comment, everybody started sharing the video. So I think Nigeria is a developing country. All we need is support. And you know, the saying, a man who helps himself, a problem known is a problem half solved. So I think Nigerians are opening their eyes right now. Nigerians are coming out from their oblivion, from their opprobrious peregrination, and we are heading into a better environment.
All right, just before you go ahead, this whole thing of a policeman doesn't have the right to search your phone. Of course, your phone is a privacy. Normally, you don't search anybody's belonging without having a search warrant. Okay, but because let me hold it on that fact of that proposition of yours or that hypothesis of yours that says that Nigeria, even though it's factual that Nigeria is a developing country, but as much as such statement was released by a high-ranking police officer, even the constitutions will still say that police or a policeman would have the right to search you on a basis of suspicion. Okay.
Yes,
once he or she suspects you to possess something that could be detrimental to the society, he has the right to search you. Now the question now remains, how would you know that he thinks it is suspicious to have you pass without being searched? That is the question that people are yet to understand.
Wait, like...
Now, assuming I look at you right now.
Your question.
Yeah, assuming it's not like a question. I'm just trying to throw something to you to actually think about. Assuming I look at you right now, or let me look at him right now. I saw that he has a knife. Okay, this is a whole different case. But assuming he has a knife, I have the right to hold him and search him because why would you possess a knife walking or driving on the street? Okay, it's threats. It's posing some threat to innocent citizens. But looking at you, look like a gentleman. Nothing suspicious about you, but I may just have this instinct that you are suspicious, so I then decide to search you. Okay, when I search you, I think I have the right to search you because I, within my own self, I have this instinct, which is of course personal and relative, that you are posing some threat to society. So I can now search you, and now you thinking, of course, you are innocent, you have nothing on you, you're a fine-looking gentleman, and there is no need for me to search you, but you are not in me to know how the me in me sees you as suspicious. That remains the question. But before we talk about this further, let's go for a short break and bounce back. At that point, we'll now tend to release to you the statement by the police as regards this whole FSAR. Stay with us, we'll be right back in just a jiffy.
Dia 5 on abashigiko mbana uranya kuranya mbapali ukuelu umaya uma sawa koya aya katabongo weba dobumda super namia shianje aye super aya kata
back on the program The Assembly, and a release signed by DCP Frank Mba, the first PRO in Abuja, actually stated that there are 10 things you need to know on the position of the IGP on FSARS and others. Number 1, the IGP has banned FSARS, STS, and IRT from routine patrol on the streets. Number 2, the IGP has also banned FSARS, STS, and IRT from conventional low-risk duties, stop and search, checkpoints, mounting of roadblocks, traffic checks, etc., with immediate effect. Number 3, the IGP has warned that no police officer, including personnel of FSARS, STS, and IRT, is authorized to embark on patrol or tactical assignments in Mafti. Number 4, the IGP has directed that the FSARS, STS, and IRT personnel must appear in their police uniforms or approved tactical gear while on official assignments. Number 5, the IGP has banned the indiscriminate and unauthorized search of mobile phones, laptops, and other smart devices. Number 6, the IGP has directed that personnel of FSARS and other tactical squads to concentrate and respond only to cases of armed robbery, kidnapping, and other violent crimes when the need arises. Number 7, the IGP has ordered the X squad and the monitoring units to monitor and arrest errant personnel of FSARS and other policemen on the road. Number 8, the IGP warned that henceforth the CP in charge of FSARS, CPs in charge of state commands and FCT, as well as the supervisory zonal AIGs, will be held liable for misconduct of personnel of FSARS and others within jurisdiction. Number 9, in line with paragraph 8 above, the IGP has charged the affected AIGs and CPs to ensure an effective supervision of personnel of FSARS and others within their jurisdiction. And finally, number 10, the IGP has appealed to citizens not to allow the misconduct by a few personnel of the force to negatively impact on their confidence and trust in the police. Signed, DCP Frank Mba, Force PRO, Abuja. Of course, this release right now explains the whole thing about the reformation of the FSARS. The question now remains, can these rules be kept to? And that question is what we are here in the assembly to discuss. You've heard the 10 basic reformations, and I'm very certain that this may not have been the first time the whole reformation was made. But Nigerians don't seem to be satisfied by this, because they are taken to the street in spite of the release made by the IGP. That simply follows that the Nigerians no longer have trust in their police. Now the police policing the citizens is now like a police trying to devour the citizens. I don't know. Of course, good enough they mentioned about the whole handset stop and search. That, of course, exactly, that they don't have the right to search those things. Of course, you don't do that in developed countries. You need to show a search warrant. And it's not so difficult to get. But in Nigeria, anything goes. And that is super crazy. What do you think?
Yes, of course. Okay. First, I want to say this. We have come to a state where we apply this method. When everything is lost, anything goes.
Okay.
When everything is lost, anything goes. What I'm trying to say is this. The states, the issue of policemen, SARS officers, devouring citizens, harassing citizens. Looking at it, first, I would like to see it in many dimensions. Dimension 1 is this. It is clear, like the Arthurian tomb of Ashkenaz, like the biblical Mene Teke Ifasin, that most of these people that we see on the road harassing citizens are not really SARS officers. They're not really police officers. They are just charlatans, hoodlums, vagabonds, and what I would call Rastafarians and scallywags.
How would you say that?
No.
The FSARS with the ID card.
Wait. I understand what you're saying. Some of them, 30% of them are actually impersonators.
Now,
Are you kidding me?
You know to even see the addressing
with their guns.
With their guns, you know.
People hack through computers now. People hack through bank accounts now. So nothing is impossible. You can get anything you want to get. You can get any crest. You can get any insignia that is.
So I'm trying to say that we should actually focus our energy on stopping those impersonators than reforming SARS.
Let us do it 50-50. Because two heads are better than one, and if you look at it from the two angles, if you consider every single factor, every single advantage, every single disadvantage, every single stumbling block, every single matter that comes like the rattle of a gun, like a seamless staccato, if you combine all of them, if you study all of them equally, if you take consideration of all of them equally, you will get a very good result. But when you channel one thing on one side, a hero once said, you can't keep doing something the same way and you expect to get different expression. Correct. Now see, people should be careful. Leaders, those who wield the apparatchik of political suzerainty, should be careful. Look at this. The vulture, in his smartness, in his wisdom, said that he's not worried that the wife is pregnant. You know why? You know why? Because if the wife delivers, it will have a child. But if the wife dies, he will have a meat. So people should be careful. Nigerians are shining their eyes now. Nigerians are shining their eyes. So I think, one, impersonators are in the system. They are collaborators in the system. Two, officers are collaborators in the system, and we need to put heads together to bring this to a stop, to bring it to an unswerving, and bring it to what I call a cease.
All right, bringing it to a cease. And just in case you're watching us from the Facebook page, of course, in case you're not, just go to Anambra Broadcasting Service, and of course we are live there. Go out there and watch us, and we've got some people already commenting right there on the page. And this particular person, Wilson Anene, says, please God, give us Biafra. Okay. And this other person here, Jen Nosa Odiase, I think General Nosa Odiase, says,
that is agitation.
Who bring Aboki come studio?
No,
who bring Aboki come studio? I think he's referring to you, like who bring you to the studio. Okay. And this other person, Ege Daniel, says, you guys are doing well. Heartbeat of the East. Thank you, Ege Daniel. And of course, Ndegeni, pardon the names, man, just pardon the names. Kenneth says, so we don't have any Biafran person who can explain this more than Aboki. I don't know why they seem to be in love with you today. And of course, one Sophie says, watching from Lagos, of course, just in case you're not watching us, go and watch us live, and we'll get to read the comments live here on the program. All right, Aboki, that's a good name for you.
Mallam Goro, Aboki is my friend. Aboki na Kagane. That's nice. But wallahi, don't give me your tongue, but I don't even speak of my porn.
Yeah. Of course. It is called amelioration.
So, my take on this, Kajiko, is that not only Nigeria will like him for big grammar. You go see my brother will come out. I declare no more this, no more that, no more abonga. But if you took up in this entire house, abunde kipara, it will happen. If you name it,
yes, of course, that is.
It's not all about talking. Kagane is about doing. Number one, if not for me, be the IG of police, before I will give you a gun, I will call you go for check up. If you do.
Definitely, they undergo training. So
if you are masu alcoholic, you are disqualified because there's no way you will quote and give them one to go and it's just like giving a madman a one.
Of course.
Okay, you get to one day where I see all these SAS people. In fact, I did inside motor. The way they drive. As I see them, I say, Auzubillahi, I think I'm robbers. Oh, I need to see the address. This guy, there is some, put them for one kind small jacket, carry one short drink. In fact, go to that drink where it's very, very hot. Okay, with person with one with that kind of spirit inside, wallahi, he can do undo. That is why small thing you go here say don't kill him for person. You go here say for self-defense. I've been ammunition discharge. All this they will just tag them abonga any names. So it's not about stopping the police people or doing this. Oga, can these people go for hospital? Okay. Check them mentally. If you are a smoker, you are disqualified. If you are a drinker, you are a disqualified. There's no way you give a one.
I want to believe that all these policemen, all these armed forces have these departments in their units, because of course they have the psychiatrist who is there to check on you in case you've gone beyond normal.
Okay.
They have a psychologist as well, so this shouldn't be overemphasized. It should be checked on at least a monthly basis.
Yes.
And this reminds me of a particular police I walked past sometime 3 days ago, within not so far from here. He was actually somewhere. He was standing with his gun on the road, and I walked past him because I was walking that day. I walked past him, and the kind of alcohol that oozed from him made me embarrassed.
It was preposterous.
Made me embarrassed.
That is why they kill citizens.
First of all, he wasn't steady, because though he was as black as you are, his eyes were so popping red.
Correct.
Okay, and then to ooze alcohol, I thought I should talk to him, like advise him. But who am I to advise him when he should be actually protecting me and possibly advising me? He's my guardian.
Of course.
So it's crazy.
Now.
And this particular police is actually in charge of the other policemen on
Yes,
the
good.
It's crazy.
Good. You see, special anti-robbery squad becoming special aids of robbery squad. It is. I am not unaware that all the travails of the SARS and all the clamors, all the cries of the citizens have provoked a lot of acerbic and toxic objurgators.
Okay.
A lot of things have come, a lot of things are still going. I don't even know when they will end. I just can't imagine this. I can't understand most of the things happening.
But let me tell you something.
Yeah. Tell me something.
Kajiko, you know, so you me Mallam Goro are the supplying for meat for different joints.
Okay.
Even for hotel.
Okay.
You get this Nyarinya, she do for ransom. She do for ransom. The girl on
ransom.
Like all this Nyarinya where they do night business.
Yeah.
Kagani, I know one call them for now. Kaji. If you get to one guy, the guy no even do anything for. It's just that the girl like him for the guy, but the guy no like him for her. You go to and say, "Wallahi, ko mi take what give no boza, mi take what give no boza." Say, I will do you something for this.
You seem to have acclimatized to Igbo life.
I get him for Igbo Nyarinya. I don't like him for better thing. Kagani go. Say, if I do you finish. To my greatest surprise, man, I know say this Nyarinya, she gets sarsaparilla. And so she won't go meet the Satan and say, this guy is a tip, but the guy is not a tip. All of a sudden for night, they just put the coffin and she, go, you are a suspect, They carry Abonga, what did they call him, that put him for your house, carry him. Guy, they beaten this guy yellow like you, as this guy come back, he black. Only because we carry him for God. Is that no corruption?
Yeah, that is actually intimidation,
Yes.
Blatant intimidation. But let's go back to our Facebook page. We have someone right here, and
vilification.
Go best saying that this is driving us crazy all day. Every time we are afraid of people who are paid to look after us. Of course, the same thing we've been saying here all the while.
Of course.
And this Ngige says, let your guest break his English down. So you would eventually break down your English into bits and pieces. All right. And of course, this particular person, Oka Hype, okay, says Yawa in this our nation, Niger, Jaga. This guy must be a Rastafarian.
Of course.
All right, so for the sake of Ngige, break down your English. Okay, that's what you're saying.
Just like you said, the vilification. What do I do? Oh, all right. I've come up with an antidote to this. Let me put it this way. I mean, SARS, instead of protecting the lives of citizens, they have become the instruments of syphilitic parochialism.
Are you trying to break this down or some?
No. Actually. All right. What I am trying to say is this. The simple way to say this, for proper assimilation and proper comprehension, is that SARS, instead of protecting lives and properties, they are killing people. I mean, instead of being on the positive axis, they are being on the negative axis.
I know
just a simple
some
way.
people have issues with this whole argument saying that don't say SARS in general, just say some SARS or a number of SARS or few SARS or whatever. But
I actually agree with that.
yeah, but you can't start doing a hashtag end some SARS or end a couple of SARS or end few SARS. Of course, once there is an oil on your white dress, look at white dress, assuming there's a dent of oil on it, of course, it mars the whole dress. Okay, so the best you could do, as much as we know that in every 12 there must be a Judas.
A Judas.
Exactly. So the best thing to do is to fish out those Judases and get rid of them, because if they are still there, it dents the whole image of the SARS, even the good and the bad. We don't even care if you have about 70% of the good SARS and 30% of the bad ones. Once we have just 2% of the bad ones, which of course is enough to cause a whole opera in a country like Nigeria, talking about 200 million people. Come on, this thing must be looked into.
Well, you know, as to that expression, end SARS, end some SARS, it doesn't really necessarily mean, it doesn't imply that all the members of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad are bad. Look at this. Lawyers are liars. It's a saying. It doesn't mean that all lawyers are liars.
It doesn't even mean that lawyers lie.
Yes, of course. In Nigeria here, it is said all politicians are liars. They are schemers, they are scammers. But it doesn't really mean that every single person is a schemer, every politician is a schemer and a scammer. It is all dependent on where you place yourself. Because there is this adage, he who talks about a content talks about the interesting content. And with the help of the people, with the help of the masses, the greatest weapon of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. I am telling everyone, let us engage in a peaceful protest. Let us air our views. Let us come out in mass. Let us go forth. Let us move forth. Let us peregrinate forth. Let us wend forth. Let us move forth. Let us accelerate forth. And with the help of, you know, they say, united we stand, divided we fall.
And talking about united we stand and divided we fall, of course, there have been protests going on right from yesterday. We have, what's that guy's name? Those celebrities that were going on yesterday. Runtown, and who's the other guy again?
His name implies Runtown.
Exactly.
He
ran the town yesterday with his colleagues and many others, and they were all there trying to say, hey, end SARS, even Root Boy as well, I think was there as well, saying end SARS and everything. Exactly, because people are now putting their voices, look at them right on the screen, they have been running their voices to the whole thing, hey, end SARS, and it happened yesterday in Lagos. Even Macaroni, a particular guy who's popular, Macaroni, exactly, he actually slept,
aka Fantabulous.
Exactly, he actually slept there, and the whole thing is getting so serious. It's no longer a joke. When you have the celebrities in Nigeria coming out for this, it means that even you who are at home doing practically nothing because you think that you've not been affected by this set SARS, one day you could be. I'm not saying you would be, but one day you could be. So why not start now to nip it in the bud, even though it has gone beyond the bud, but at least start now. And I heard that there is a protest coming on in Anambra State, I don't know when, and you know, it's going on in every state in Nigeria. They're all out there protesting, hey,
the one thing I hate about those people is that even though they catch you that you are a suspect, even though they are not sure that you are the one, and they enter your room, they see you get on for plasma, get on for big property, they will pack all of them.
It's crazy.
I'm telling you, in fact, I have seen a guy for this town, they enter a room.
And you can't still let you try to avoid or prevent them from doing so.
Yes,
of course. Because these guys are, of course,
they pack everything.
It is not in the United States or other Western developed countries where you are allowed to hold gun.
A security man,
You can't do that because it's just super crazy, man. But I think we're running off already. What do you think about this protest? Of course, just today, I think it also happened yesterday as well, but today there have been news that a policeman, I think in Delta State, Ughelli, if I'm correct, has been killed by the protesters.
It's not all about...
You know, Nigeria has a way of overdoing things, and it's crazy. Peaceful protest, but you will see them trying to go and show off. Nigeria is laden with illiteracy, and that's why we can't actually do something and be productive with that. There is now a possible war of police versus citizens, and it's crazy.
But that's the one number. For the citizen to fight the police or the people with gun, I am not in support of that one. I advise for peaceful protests, and it's not even all about going out doing the protest. Although when we do the protest, the government will hear our cry. and consider
Exactly.
And look into our matter.
Yes.
But fighting the police people or the SAS people, me, Mallam Goro, I am not in support of that one.
Yes, exactly. In an attempt to scooper an event that has taken you impromptu, imprimatur, and premadure, I mean, unawares, that is. In an attempt to scooper it, and you begin to overact, the bad boys will say overhype, and you begin to overact or overhype whatever it is that you're trying to stop, it becomes bad. It means you're looking for trouble. You're looking for something else. We need to put our heads together. I don't really know why. See, looking at Nigeria, do you know what I call Nigeria right now? I'm going to put you on a little lesson right now. Now, let us take this one first. Election in Nigeria used to be a branch of democracy, a channel of democracy, where people go out, air their views, put up what they want to do, and it is implemented and is agreed with. But now, what is election? Election is a joke. Election is a fun time that is executed and countered by thugs, helped by policemen, aided by the extraordinary thugs, and then announced and affirmed by the court. Now, look at what is happening in Nigeria. There is this thing I want to understand. So many definitions are changing in Nigeria. Do you know what I call Nigeria right now? Lord Lesef, I call Nigeria a compendium. The joining, coming together of three unlike terms that would never ever attract, but will keep repelling. 1914, people say it's amalgamation of Nigeria. It's ridiculous, it's ludicrous, it's absurd. It is very, very nefarious and lugubriously insalubrious.
Oh, it's okay.
Look, let me land
quickly.
You can't join people, Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba. It's very stupid. You can't join three people who don't agree. We don't agree. We have never agreed. The Northerners have been in power for long, and they have not used their power. We have gotten to a state where we don't even apologize on a citizen's candidature, what he can offer. We are busy apologizing where the person is from. That is bad. Political nambi-pambi, pigodi, political radiculopathy, political sciatica, political efficacification. All we need to do is to rise. And I believe God, I believe in the effort of the people, that by our effort, we will come to. Oh, damn. That is bad.
I understand how I would say pushed you are by the concerns of this nation, Nigeria. But it's
for 50 hours, if you allow me. 50
okay,
hours.
it's okay.
I said,
Good
50
enough. I won't allow that. Okay, but one thing you have to know is that Nigeria is a blessed nation of not just three tribes, but three major tribes and other ethnic groups coming together as one.
Dystopia.
Okay,
so we have to brigandage of the bluest dye.
Hey, Prof.
I say we love ourselves.
We have to keep pushing until we get there, and not retracting or going back.
Yes,
okay, because we can't be
let's pray for a better Nigeria.
Progress peregrination, positive peregrination.
That's okay. All right, now quickly, in about a minute or few minutes, just tell us what your last words would be as regards this whole NSAS. Meanwhile, we have someone right here, Lucia from, okay, she says she's watching from Lagos, and also we have one Kelechi saying watching from Mina. Mina should be a state in Nigeria. Saying
Niger.
Okay, they're saying they need to be ended. They need to be ended, okay, because they are no longer doing what their works are. All right, I get that right. Okay, so now quickly, just a minute. Now, what is your last word as regards this whole SARS reformation?
My last word, I know concerning Mallam Goro, my last word is that if you are a SARS official, you are on duty, please.
That is if they will still see another day.
And just please, don't drink and do your duty. Don't and do your duty. After you go on, you can do anything. And please, we the masses what they do for protesting, let's do a possible protesting. I am not in support of the masses fighting the police or the SARS. That is my take on this. I remember we are one Nigeria.
Exactly. Prof, in just 20 seconds, let go.
20 seconds?
Yeah, just briefly.
Oh, come on. All right. I actually say that the masses should come out. Abraham Lincoln did well by defining democracy as government of the people, by the people, and for the people. This Kakistomobo plutocracy or totalistic electoral Aristomobo autocracy in Nigeria has gone out of hand. We just need to stand up. We just need to go out there, make a peaceful protest, and I believe we are the elite. We are the mass. We are the electorate. We are the country. We are the citizens, and we are the people. We need to stand up, and I believe
we need to stand up.
Yes.
believe that we will arise and
Of
shine.
course,
Let me end that for you,
shine.
even though I'm not
Thank
very
you
sure that's the
very
one
much.
ending. Okay, this has been the program, The Assembly. And I am Lord Lezef from the highest echelon of the British Empire. Until next week, we say to you, bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
This is ABS, Heartbeat of the East.
Loading ammunition, digging trenches, carrying supplies. Nearly 2 million Africans served in the First World War.